Hey, hope you're doing well. Tonight, I am getting ready to read the end of my book. I can't believe I'm almost finished. So, I'll be doing that tonight, and I'm starting on page 141. Decades later, I work with patients with disabilities due to strokes, Parkinson's, and traumatic brain injuries. After Scott, my next marriage with an alcoholic comes to an end. I've survived verbal abuse and terror from a man who hates himself and hates women. After 3 weeks of crying daily for the loss of the relationship, I realized it was not one of love, but just the comfort zone of a man in my life. A new day begins. This day brought with it fresh perspective of strength that I could thrive even after the hell of the last 10 years. Working at the rehabilitation hospital in partnership with the YMCA and helping beautiful people who needed a push with their limits becomes a passion of mine. Adaptive wellness is similar to what I am doing with my own personal life. I am broken, but it is unseen. My adaptation is internal. The lotus survives geological changes and still blooms. It was one of the few plants that lived through the Ice Age when many others became extinct. Working with traumatic brain injury programs has its challenges. The participants can be very impulsive and have behavioral issues. Lots of patience is needed to work with such clients. So far, I had been fortunate. After 3 months of running this brain injury program, all my participants were sweet and fun. Ken, you are doing so well. This participant was elderly, and today he had achieved some new milestones with his memory games. Looking up, I see a 6'3", 40-something-year-old man come in and talk with one of the other participants. He is too young to be a stroke patient, but presents like it. He grabs my attention. There's a special way about him. Another participant, Sharon, says, "Hey, Bruce, you have to meet Pushpa." "Nice to meet you, Bruce." A sizzle of energy goes through my body. He is handsome and young looking, tall and skinny with a big smile. He walks with a cane and his speech is difficult to understand. Regardless, he has a way about him that draws me in and makes me want to know more about him. He is a survivor of a car accident from 25 years before that left him in a coma for months and then sent him on a different path than originally planned. He was a smart jock who wanted to go to school at Rochester Institute of Technology for biomed technology, have a family and a successful career. Instead, he got his bachelor's and master's degree while in a wheelchair. If only his friend would not have fallen asleep at the wheel, but he did, and he changed the lives of the 3 others in the car, killing the young man next to Bruce in the back seat. He left the other 2 with head injuries. The man now lived 3 miles away, but didn't even have the kindness to be Bruce's friend. Though he ended up the most successful, he was also the one with the least love in his heart for people with disabilities. The bastard has 5 cars and lives a life of entitlement. 3 months later, we end up at the same company party. Bruce is with a date on his arm, and I come by myself. Sharon grabs my arm and pulls me towards Bruce's table. He is sitting with other volunteers at the hospital. I wait as Sharon grabs him and brings him out to the dance floor. She's a beautiful Black woman with a disability and has difficulty with balance and walking. The 3 of us dance. Sharon disappears and a slow dance starts. He drops his cane and opens his arms. We slow dance. A buzzing vibrates in my chest. I ignore it, but I feel his warmth and kindness. His date leaves with him. A week later, the Trans-Siberian Orchestra comes to town and I see a commercial wishing I could go. A day later, a text comes from Bruce. "Do you want to go to the Trans-Siberian Orchestra with me?" It's hard to explain how a runner and fitness fanatic ends up in love with a man with a disability. It happens though, and 2 years later, we get married. 5 years later, and we are living through a pandemic together. He loves me so much. 2 broken people who together are unbroken. It is not only me now that lives while surviving a challenging existence. I watch him struggle daily. Meanwhile, the driver lives an entitled life with no concern for Bruce. We have our love, we have our mutual desire to stand up for other people and to treat them with goodness. Lotus flowers are known as living fossils. They are a relic plant since they survived the Ice Age. Though they struggle through the crappy mire they start in, they push through the water to bloom and bring beauty to the world. Flowering longer than other flowers, we too shall push through this murky mire and find our way to bloom, bringing our own beauty to this world. Thriving after surviving can happen. We will survive even the hottest of summers and in difficult spaces anywhere. There is no need to adapt, but to use that which becomes a fertile ground for growing to benefit our lives. So many questions in my life are still unanswered. I have come to understand that my choices have altered every fork in the road of my life. The detriment of those actions live on forever in my mind, but my heart is finally beginning to bloom. By peeling away the layers of entangling roots, my spirit breathes fresh air and I squint while emerging through the murkiness of newfound clarity. Insight reveals the truth. Our breath is all we have in creating anew. Wow, this has been quite a journey, reading this book with you guys. This was almost 150 pages of reading and sharing myself, and it has been an amazing journey. I think the coolest part is the people that I have connected with through this journey have been amazing. And so this has been an incredible experience reading this for you guys and sharing my experiences and getting to know some of you better. And I know all of you that cheer me on from the background. I know who you are, and I am grateful for every one of you, because I don't think I would have done this. I think I've done like 80 something videos now to get through this book, and I wouldn't have done it without you. I really wouldn't have. And it's funny because today I've just been struggling mentally, and I don't know, sometimes I don't know why I'm struggling. I think it's just fear and different things come into play and bring up old stuff, and then I have to trudge through it again. But, I was having a crappy day, and someone out of the blue sent me a message that made my day. So, you just never know when you reach out to someone what you are doing for them. It may just be a thought in your head, but you have no idea what people are going through. And you reaching out to them in a moment that you might think of them might be just the moment that they need to hear from someone like you. And that happens to me so often, and it happened today, and it's just, every time it happens, it blows my mind. But anyway, I just feel so fortunate and so grateful to people that are willing to reach out to me. It just shows me the goodness of all of you. And so anyway, I don't know what the next thing will be that I do, but if you have ideas of what you would like me to do with this book, should I read it again? I would like to do a film out of it. I'm trying to figure that out. That's not on the forefront, but it's there. And now I'm starting a coaching programs, that really are from everything that I learned through all this trauma. So I just launched that today. So that's my new thing. But, if there's something that you want me to do with this book, please let me know. I would love to know what your thoughts are, and I will truly appreciate them, because I just want to know how better I can serve. And I know I'm serving some of you by reading this book. So if you want me to go back and do it again, I'll do that. Or if you want to just have me do random readings, or I don't know what it could be, but if you have an idea, let me know. So anyway, thank you so much for going along this ride with me. It has been amazing, and I'm not done with you yet, and you're not done with me yet. So I'm sure I'll be doing something else. I just don't know what. But thank you so much for, all of the wonderful sharing and sharing my YouTube, sharing my Facebook posts, and just reaching out to me and whatever, all the little things you've done to make this process better, because it has not been easy for me. This was challenging, and it took a lot of discipline for me to do this every day. I do it once and I don't redo it. The first time I hit record, I don't change it or edit it because I wanted it to be real. I didn't want it to be staged. So it takes a lot of energy, and just it's hard to do, harder than it looks. But I just appreciate you guys, because I think I would have given up if I didn't think you were there listening. So thank you so much, and please keep in touch. And if you want to check out my coaching, go to thepushpadevi.com and see my coaching. Or if you want to share it, I would love for you to share it with somebody that you know can get some help through me helping them. I would love that. So, all right. Thank you.